Hi, my name is Bijal Shah and I am a bibliotherapist and founder of Book Therapy, a bibliotherapy and literary curation practice. I'm also the author of the book Bibliotherapy, The Healing Power of Reading. I curate book prescriptions and provide online training in bibliotherapy. More detail of this can be found on my website, www.booktherapy.io. In this podcast, I share my knowledge and research on bibliotherapy, including the latest developments, science, and book recommendations. Join me every week where we take a deep dive into bibliotherapy. We release 2 episodes a week. Voice notes from me, your resident bibliotherapist, and Ask the Bibliotherapist, book recommendations for what's on your mind. I hope you enjoy the show, and if you'd like a bibliotherapist in your pocket, you might find my book, Bibliotherapy, The Healing Power of Reading, a helpful companion. It's available at any bookstore that you shop at. And don't forget to subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts and get new episodes as they're released. And as always, I love hearing from listeners. So if you'd like to get in touch, share any book recommendations or thoughts on bibliotherapy, you can do so at bijal@booktherapy.io. Thanks for listening. Hi everyone. As we've now reached the end of this season, I wanted to share the foreword from my book, Bibliotherapy, The Healing Power of Reading. I really wanted to give people a flavour of the book, what to expect, and thought this would be a great way of sharing more about bibliotherapy with listeners. I hope you enjoy it. And as always, I love hearing from you with your thoughts and reflections, and I always reply back. If you'd like to get a copy of the book, you can do so at all good bookstores. All links to these are in the show notes. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoy it. Forward. Of all the things for which we use books, education, entertainment, escapism, one of the more curious is our use of them as a therapeutic medium and a form of social connection. Literature affords us familiar friends through the silent passage of words, as we forge connections with fictional characters who are almost more perfect than the friends we find in real life. This is partly down to the fact that we have uninterrupted access into the minds and emotions of the characters we read. So we experience what feels like a more immediate and sometimes more intense level of intimacy than we would with a close family member or friend. This relationship that evolves between reader and character echoes the celebrity effect, where the familiarity of a favourite celebrity makes us feel that we know them personally. Consider this striking insight offered by Anne Elliot in Jane Austen's Persuasion. "The last few hours were certainly very painful," replied Anne. "But when pain is over, the remembrance of it often becomes a pleasure. One does not love a place the less for having suffered in it, unless it has been all suffering, nothing but suffering." These words resonate with us. Often the pain of past suffering simply becomes a small footnote in our lives, its significance shed, and its power less acute. Austen's observation is so astute that as readers, we find ourselves identifying with and recognizing our own experiences in her words. On the other hand, if we've never experienced such pain and suffering, it can feel enlightening to explore these feelings through reading. In sharing in Anne's pain and joy, we feel that we know her intimately. Reading about others' experiences of suffering also offers us a deeper understanding of the extremes of human behavior. For example, our capacity for extreme cruelty, as we see in Anne Frank's The Diary of a Young Girl and Margaret Atwood's The Handmaid's Tale. These books allow us to understand another person's experience through empathetic reading, so that we begin to recognize their pain, their suffering, and their experience. In doing so, we can connect with them through the painful emotions they bring up in us, inviting self-exploration and examination, and perhaps even catharsis. As a bibliotherapist, I've observed that reading aloud affords us a level of intimacy and connection, as well as a sense of being understood that can be incredibly healing. Books allow us to connect with people with whom we would not otherwise connect in our daily lives, extending our empathetic capabilities and safely submerging us into a virtual reality that can often feel more real than the one in which we currently reside. Literature's therapeutic benefits have been known for centuries. But the term bibliotherapy was first coined by American essayist Samuel Crothers in 1916. Crothers believed that reading novels could offer a more affordable and accessible form of therapy, and could for some patients even wholly replace psychoanalysis, the pioneering form of therapeutic treatment at the turn of the 20th century. Widely regarded as the founding father of psychoanalysis, Freud himself was no stranger to the concept of bibliotherapy and believed that literature could be a useful tool in therapy, as it provided a way for clients to explore their own unconscious desires and motivations. In his essay, Creative Writers and Daydreaming, Freud refers to the writer as akin to a therapist who can guide us and help us process our emotions, leading to greater self-awareness and insight. The writer of literature creates a world of fantasy, which he takes very seriously. That is, which he invests with large amounts of emotions while separating it sharply from reality. In my opinion, all the aesthetic pleasure which a creative writer affords us has the character of a fore-pleasure of this kind, and our actual enjoyment of an imaginative work proceeds from a liberation of tensions in our minds. This effect is due to the writers enabling us thenceforward to enjoy our own daydreams without self-reproach or shame. I stumbled upon bibliotherapy while studying psychodynamic counseling, and it was a moment of profound revelation. Literature quickly took center stage in all my therapy sessions, and this ultimately paved the way to my current bibliotherapy practice and literary curation consultancy. I've noticed remarkable changes in my clients who have engaged with therapeutic reading, whether in their personal or professional lives, and it only seems fitting to share their stories of healing through literature in a book of my own. I want to tell my readers about the bibliotherapy process and the art of prescribing books that bring meaning, connection, and healing. I will chart bibliotherapy's evolution as a form of therapy by exploring how the concept of therapeutic reading has been developed over the centuries by the ancient Greeks, Michel de Montaigne, William Wordsworth, George Eliot, Freud, hospital librarians during both world wars, and more recently, academics. This important history allows us to understand the development of bibliotherapy and its principles. We'll explore my own journey of healing through literature, from growing up in an Orthodox Jain community in Kenya, East Africa, and turning to reading for comfort to discover bibliotherapy while training as a counsellor and developing my own bibliotherapy practice. And we'll also look at those of my clients, sharing their stories of healing through literature and offering hope, faith, and inspiration to readers everywhere. These accounts cover themes of loss, grief, depression, motherhood, identity, race, gender, neurodiversity, and relationship challenges to explore how bibliotherapy has been used as a tool for navigating challenging and complex circumstances. Our relationship with literature remains our most intimate because books possess the unique ability to mirror our deepest needs and aspirations. We feel seen, heard, and held. Let's leverage this unique ability using the practice of bibliotherapy to guide, enlighten, and eventually transform us. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you'd like to sign up to our online courses or try a personalised book prescription or bibliotherapy session, you can do so following the links in the show notes. And as always, I love hearing from listeners, so don't hesitate to drop me an email at bidgel@booktherapy.io.